It's an investment bank's worst nightmare. A technological glitch that takes down a trading floor's entire trading and risk application infrastructure just for a few minutes could cost the bank many millions of pounds. Wall Street's so-called flash crash in May 2010 saw the Dow crash 1,000 points in just a few minutes, wiping $1 trillion off market value before recovering. Traders were left wondering just how robust their systems were. ITRS helps financial institutions understand how their entire trading and risk application infrastructure is working. Steven Bates had experience of data distribution systems from his time at Reuters. In taking delivery of new systems, banks wondered how they would be able to manage such a complex environment. It was a question Steven was determined to find an answer for.
When I started hearing this question time and time again, I started to realise there was a huge opportunity for something that could effectively give a clear indication to the financial institutions of problems which were developing before they actually created a systems outage.
To build a system, Steven turned for help to a gifted software engineer and designer he had worked with before.
It was a situation where people were running distributed systems. In other words, systems that run on multiple computers at the same time. And there was nothing there that would allow them to look at the information that allows them to manage those systems, specifically in real time. Nothing there that allows you to understand what the system actually, how it behaves from an application point of view.
Together, they built an architecture called Genios, which gave power to institutions to control whole systems globally. But building it was one thing. Another was how they were going to take on the likes of Hewlett-Packard and IBM.
We started approaching the people whose responsibility laid or vested in the use of that particular system we were trying to manage or were proposing to manage. And they could see quite clearly the differentiation between our product and the other products were in use. So it was quite some while before we got the first order, and then the thing started to roll, built up momentum.
It's a classic example of the book Crossing the Chasm. You know, find the evangelist, find the innovator, and then they will take you into the organisation and establish some real differentiation, not only for you but for themselves.
Genios electronically monitors in real time every single critical element of a transaction in a trading room. All that information is then sent to a central gateway and can automatically alert a trading room support team of any problems and, crucially, any potential problems wherever in the world they might occur. It then saves this information onto a database to comply with regulatory requirements and presents it to the relevant people on the trading floor.
The beauty of Genius is that it gives you a clear indication of how an architecture is behaving. So you can start to see situations developing within the systems and applications so that you can actually avoid a systems outage or an application crashing.
Within 18 months, 5 of the 10 largest banks in the world adopted Genios. But the evolving nature of a trading environment meant it wasn't long before bankers approached ITRS with new challenges.
Something that was happening is people were saying, okay, I really like this. I have this other related problem which I'd like to solve, and I think your product can do it. And we were really happy to have that kind of response. So we were putting more and more functionality onto the existing product. And at some point, it became clear that it was not flexible enough. It's like loading more and more into the same foundation. At some point, you find that actually you can't extend it up any further. You've got to really relook at the foundation, and that's what we had to do.
The banking world's switch to electronic trading in 2001 added even more complexity to the trading environment and a greater likelihood of things going wrong. ITRS saw this as an opportunity to adapt the Genios architecture and broaden its appeal to clients.
The explosion of electronic trading systems was really great for us, because suddenly we saw there's a huge potential of what we do, not just in a particular segment of trading rooms, which is market data, but also in trading applications themselves and the connectivity to exchanges.
As a result, ITRS brought out Genios TradeWatch, which manages electronic trade systems. It gives institutions an ability to identify quite complex orders that are not going through to the exchanges as they should. ITRS's remarkable growth in the last few years is partly due to its core strategy of being able to respond quickly to a client's needs. It's headquartered in London and has offices in New York and Hong Kong.
If you actually have every member of the organisation focused on what's right for the customer, all the rest of it comes good. And what that means is you need to work with the customer, you need to communicate, you need to understand his problems, work with him in the way that he wants you to work with him to ensure that he's getting value, and keep asking him, are you getting the value from the thing you've bought from us?
We work with them to design and enhance the product. Most of the roadmap that exists in our product line at the moment it comes really from dialogue with the customers, and I think this is fundamental to ITRS and will underpin its future growth.